we have done from 1 to 4. Yes, I've been able to go through, and I've been trying some of them.
I hope there's no
I've tried
challenge.
the 1, 2, the 3, the 4. Yes, even and all the other ones I've studied them too.
I hope they are not giving you problem.
The where I was having some difficulty was that week 4, and the one of yesterday when I was going through them, when we were teaching yesterday, the joints.
Mm,
Yes,
okay,
no, no. Yes, when we were bringing in the those informations from the table.
okay,
So yeah, some of them I don't know if there's any particular order that one should follow, or you just decided to uh, the way you were bringing those informations. Is it just from your personal idea, or there's a particular sequence that one will be able to follow in order to bring those information to join them?
okay. It's a very good question. We'll go to it, but
Okay, sir.
I think let me just finish the class so that now I finish class. Then next week we'll now use next week for tutorial. So in the
All right,
tutorial
sir.
now we'll look at doses. But remember, I
Okay.
told you one thing. There's no particular order in which you pick. It's not because maybe a particular table is loved so much, but it has
Okay.
different qualities. So,
Okay.
like a starter, you have to follow the rule. After today's class, I will search for my directory. There's a particular di- um, directly book I will give you for SQL, which shows
Okay.
joins. Which shows join. If I
Okay.
can finish on time today, I will. I may even search for it online and from my archive, and I open it to see some of them before I even send it.
Okay, sir.
So the basic thing is to know how to join a table and
Okay.
what you are looking for in joining table. And I told you it's all about relationships. Even when we are
All right.
using Excel to build, it is still all about relationship, because if you only have one table and a particular deep information, you may not be able to get much insight from it. But the beauty
All
of
right.
it is that when you can able to join many tables based on the relationships, then you can be
Okay.
able to. And if you remember in those classes, I will talk to you about marriage. When a man marries a woman, the
All right.
family member of the man become family member of the woman automatically, and the one of the woman become in-law or family member of the man. So because of
Yes.
marriage now, you can relate to people that are from your wife's clan, which not necessarily nothing would have joined it before. Some of
Yes.
them may be deal. If you remember, about 5 months ago, Victor Simen went to catch the wife brother and went to lock in that he 800 millions of
It's true.
his sweat. Now, if he was not married, what would join Victor Simen and the wife brother in business? So it's relationship. That is also what we use to build this system.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
So the difference between this structure queried language is that it is rigid. You will see a table
Okay.
that has column and it has row. So by the time you say column row C1 for instance, when you go there you see there will be particular information on that place which is always constant. But for semi structure, it may not be that rigid. All they want is to have information that is joining with another irrespective of position. So but
Okay.
what we are doing is a rigid information. What is used in Facebook is a semi structured query. It is quite different
Okay.
from this. So this one you can use it to query a lot of detail. Just imagine a University of Abuja that existed since 1978, and if all the data of both the people that are working there, the Senate members of Senate that have been there up to today, the lecturers, the department, the student, the course they took, the lecturer that took the course, the place where the course was taught, the material that was used for that course, how the lecturers were paid salary, the student that got good award, what was their mark, and what were they given. If all this information has been kept intact over the years, you can use this SQL query to bring out needed information. You don't have to go and begin to open up everything. You use it to query the data and go deep and get your answer and come out. So that is what it's all
Okay.
about. Because every
Yes.
day we are generating data and it's becoming big and big. So you need something like this. That is why it's part of what you learn when you are learning data analytics or data science. Because it's all about coding. You see these simple things you are doing. Code is something that when you bring out in a systematic way, it gives us something back in also in a systematic way that have meaningful, that have meaning and can be
Okay.
used for decision making. So that is what we are doing. So let's conclude on today is the last day for the teaching proper for the SQL. And if you have
Okay.
looked back, you agree that we have done a lot of things. And if you can
Yes, sir.
able to grab this thing, I know a few weeks before now, if you are telling there's something like a structure query language, Microsoft SQL, you will not understand what you are saying. But today, you are seeing it coming out really good. That is what
Yes.
it's all about. So maybe you can mute yourself now. So let me take few minutes and we'll look at what we have today, and that will be the
Okay.
concluding aspect of our work for SQL. Then by next week, we'll now go into tutorial, and from tutorial we can see if we can give ourselves assignment to
Okay, sir.
test our muscle memory. This is the SQL environment, and we want to look at another important aspect of our learning of SQL today. And there are very few we did not touch, like views. We didn't touch view. I expect the student to go and study it and see how to apply it. I think I've sent a lot of textbooks. You can see it there. You can also practice. Practice, they say, makes one to become perfect. So when you don't practice, the one little one you know, you forget them. So we are going to look at an interesting topic today, and the topic is we're going to learn set operations. Yesterday, or in our last class, if you listen, I was talking about union using the Venn diagram, the one we see in our secondary school. There's nothing different from it. And in the set operation, we'll have some important um, keys or factors to consider. One of them is union. Union. We can also have union, sorry, union all. Then the next thing we're going to look at also is the intersect or intersection. Intersect. Then we'll look at except. These are the four things we're going to look at in this class. So we're going to now before I start, you remember that under set operation we have union, and union is talking about bringing things that are common between, not really things that are common, but what can be found in the two or in the three items that are being joined, maybe their quality or their characteristics or their count. We bring them together. Then intersect is talking about a common ground, what is peculiar or similar to the two, not everything, just those things that are common to the two. Just like a husband and wife, you have a kid, those kids are common to both. So it's just an example. An except is what is in one that is not in the other. So that is an exception. So union all and union, we are going to break it down detail as it relates to structure query language in Microsoft SQL. So we'll start with union, and we are saying that what does union do? We say that union returns unique records, return unique record after combining the results of the query. So this is the, I can just shift it a bit to guide us. So this is what union does. It returns unique record. I remember unique record. We're saying those records or those number counting that are just specific to a particular. They are not two in a given table. Just one identifier, unique identifier. We're talking about unique. When you have a number that has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 occurs severally. Now we now say these are distinct. You can count how many times does 1 occur, how many times does 2 occur. We are looking at distinct count. But for unique, it is 1 and 1. Example is maybe serial number. Example can also be identity number. That number is unique. Even when you buy your phone, your number is unique to that company. That phone and that year is unique. When you buy your car, your chassis is unique. It does not have two in the world. That helps for identification. That is what we are saying. So having this, we now want to get a tax which you can use to display this or solve it. So we go and use our select statement, and we're going to human resource employee. That is the record we want to use. Human resource employee, this is the record, and we open it up. So we want to select some items in order to be able to show this union. I know our work is a build up of what we did last time. So we'll pick business entity ID, Control C, Control V. Then the next, we'll pick national ID number, Control C, Control V. The next, we pick our job title, Control C, Control V. Next, we pick our hire date. Next, we pick our gender. So when we have done this, these 4 or 5 items are okay. We now set up the form, and of course we're taking our work from this table, human resource employee table. So after we have done that, the next thing is we use our where clause. Remember, where is filtering. We say where gender. Now we're not taking everything in gender, we are filtering our gender, and say where gender is equal to male. So if you say this is part of the work. So if we were to run this, to be sure of what we're doing, I have 206 rows. So I can come here, just write 206 rows. So remember, we are doing union. and so that you can see the difference between union and union. Or union, we pick numbers without duplicate, meaning that if a number has occurred before, as we are bringing order through union, it will not allow it to repeat itself. But if we're using others, it may give us a different answer. So have that in your mind. It will not allow you to repeat itself when you are using union. So this is the union. Then the next thing is we're going to, of course, now combine it with a different condition. So come again, just go up and select everything, even up to the where. Control C, come down and do Control V. Now we just change some things. One of them is gender, because the same information we just change to female. Let's leave first on this with the row. So where gender is female, and add another condition to it. When you're adding it, you are putting and operand or an operator where marital status. You look for marital status here. Control C. Place it here. So we want to see for the female not only the gender, but where the marital status is telling us that that female is what? Married, and nothing more. So if we are to run just this one, the second one we just did now, and we execute it, it will give us just 49 rows, because we have limited this to just married. Now if we, for instance, we decide to just leave it without putting the married, just put this and run, it will give us all the female, whether they are married or not. And now the female is 84 rows. But when you bring the married condition to it, and moreover, okay, yes, when you put the married condition to it, it reduces to 46 rows. Reduces to 46 rows, 49 rows. So just as way of reminder, we'll write it 49 rows. Okay, we have not finished our union. We're still going to add another condition. So the third condition is we want to also look at the job title, and the job title we are looking at is just the production in the job title. So these are what we have done before. We just want to build muscle memory of our work. So when we pick this, we can pick this, then we can now make the amendment. We now put this, everything is the same except on the where. I will now remove the where and now set up the new condition where we are using this. You say where job title, so we are looking at job title, not gender now. Control V. So where job title like is the title, the operand they are using. So the job title is this, what you are looking for, and what you are looking for is in production. So everything that has to do with production is what we are looking for. So based on that, we'll use our ampersand. No, we'll use our percentage, both front and back. You can also go and look at that percentage once again, how it is used, because I use this extensively. So we're looking at production. So run it again before we now go to run everything based on that union that we have already stipulated there. So when you run it, it will give you 180 rows. So you can take note of it. So if we have 180 row and we have 206, 180 plus 206, okay, 180 plus 200 is 380, 386, and 386 plus 49 will be 420 something if I'm not mistaken. Now that is the number we have here based on the different individual criteria that we have just done. But we want to union it. That means we want to bring them together now. But in unioning it, it will only select unique values. It will not repeat them. It will remove duplicates on its own. So let's see how the value and the number it will give us when we run it. Now when we execute it, see it has given us 274 row and not 400 and something row. This means that it has been able to do something, pick only one value for every value. So if one value is repeating itself more than once, it will only pick it once. That is what it have just done. That is the importance of using the union. So having done that, now let's go to the next one, which is the union or, so that you see the difference between the union and the union or. So union or, union or, what does it do? Union or returns duplicate or duplicated records from the queries. This can come in a form of question, and you know that once you don't know it, you will not give the right answer on the queries. So now let's go again now to bring up some of the values we have done before and use now union or to run it and see how the answer will look like. That is what we're going to do now. So we're going to use the information that have to do with gender being male, and also have to look at the man, the female, marital status, and we're going to look at production and see how it will look like. So let's go ahead and pick all of them and see how it will look like. But this time we are now using union or, just the same thing we have done. Want to see what will be the outcome. Remember the other one, this one is 274. So what would the other, when we are using union or, what will be the numbers of row we are going to encounter? So I do Control V. Now the only thing that we change here is just the union. We come and add or, because it's a new statement now. It has changed the dynamics of the work. That's all we need to do for now. Even if you run the individuals, they're still going to give you this. Now let's now go and run everything using the union all idea to run it and see what it will look like. Okay, so let's execute. Remember this was 274. So let's see what the answer will be. Now you see the union or did not take care of the duplicate. It added everything and everything goes. You see why union all is different from union. For union, it picks unique. It doesn't allow duplicate, but union all allows duplicate. So that is it about that. Now the next thing we are going to look again is intersection. Intersection. So intersection is our next intersect. That's the next thing we're going to do. And what does intersect does? Say it returns the common values. Return the common values. That's all it does. Intersection returns the common values. So let's go again and look at what we're going to do there. We pick the business, the select the first item and also select the last item and see what is common with them, and we remove the production and see, maybe look for another thing within the production cycle says, and we now put it there and see what the outcome will be. So we can come again, select everything, and when we go down, we'll now do some amendments. So Control C. Okay. First of all, we are going to remove production. In its place, we are going to now put 6. And let's run this first and see what will be the outcome to see if it is still 180 that we had here. When we execute it, see we have 18 rows. So we can able to now change this to 18 rows, knowing that we are going to expecting 18 rows. The next thing we are going to do is to remove the gender that is female. Remove the female gender aspect of this work. I want to make it a little concise so I can able to understand, because even if you go ahead to do it, as long as there's something common, if nothing, it will give you no answer. So we want to reduce that possibility. So now we're not going to use union this time, whether union all or union. So we're going to use now is what? Intersect, bringing the common things together. Intersect. So intersect is what we're going to see. We want to see how many records will be returned that are common to the two select statement that we have done here. So we'll come here and we'll select, and we will now run execute and see what is the record going to be. You see what is common to the two select statement here, or the two criteria we are set, is just what? 11 rows. So 11 rows is what is the difference there. So we will just note that this one returns just 11 common records. This is a record that is common between the two select aspects, or the two records that we have there. This is what we have been able to do, and this takes care of what? The intersect. So the last thing we will be doing, we are going to look at the except statement and see how it looks like. So what is except statement? It can always be, we use this idea of A except B. So whatever is in A is okay except B. And say it returns records that are present in table. Which table? Table A, for instance, but not in table B. Of course, if you remember those days of set theory, you see that this is very, very valid. We want to use that except when we have joined two Venn diagram, we just say what is in A that is not in B. So you look at everything in A, then you ignore also the intercept, which is the middle, and you ignore the if my right hand is A and my left hand is B, and I'm taking A except B, I am looking at everything that is in A, then both the intercept and what is in B I will ignore. That is what we are doing here, and vice versa. So if you also say that we're looking at B, it means except A, we are saying the same thing again, but in the other way round. So we are looking at the record that is present in B except in A. So that is what we are saying. So after saying that, we'll come back now and practicalize it. So let me also arrange this very well. This in A. So for second one, you say what is in B that is not in A. So that is what we are saying here. Except. So let's take maybe one table and we're able to solve that. So what do we do now? We also use the same scenario. We use the same scenario. We pick our table with gender, and we pick our table with cis, and now we change the intercept and we just put except if we assume that the first table is A and the second table is B, then you understand it very well. So if we have this, again we'll copy it, then we come down and we'll paste it. Now remember, everything is intact. The only thing we are removing is the intercept, and we're replacing it with what? Except. That's all. So we want to see if it returns the common factor again or not, which I am very sure it will not. So we'll come up, select everything, so we can run it. Then we'll run it and see how many rows. Of course, you see it has taken what is in the first that is not whether in the common ground and also not in B. That is what has happened here. So in the other way around, you want to also know what is in B to this. You can put this one first and put the second one down and also run it. It will also give you an answer. So this is 195 record. So we can now change this to 195 records. This is what was returned, or items if you wish, or rows. Anyone can still be correct. So this is what was returned. So you can also look at Another thing, I think that will be the just like a tax now. We can see if we can able to do one or two tax before we close for today, because experience has shown me that giving you guys tax, you will not do it. So it's good I give you the tax and I do it for you. Then you study it. In time, you begin to appreciate those tax. So for this tax, I would like to take the simple one. The reason is that I want to see if I can show us the dictionary. But the second tax, I will send it for you in the notes. So you can use it, put it up, and you get the same answer I thought, because it's science. Science will always give you the same answer anywhere in the world. So let me give you the tax B. The tax A, you see in your notes. So the tax B says show the distribution distribution. You are talking about count. Talking about count of the distribution of employees by their job title. Job title. So we are asked to show the distribution of a distribution now has to do with count of employee by the job title. Normally, once this kind of question are given, they will not tell you the table where you are supposed to go to get your answer. But when you look at the question will direct you to where you're going. One of the clue is what? Employee. And once you have seen employee, something will come to your mind. We are going to human resource employee. That is the truth. So this is what you should be able to conversant yourself with. So we say select. As a selecting, the only thing you have to select is what? You come down from the question is job title. So you select job title, Control C. Now what are you supposed to do with job title? You are going to show count of distribution. You are going to count the distribution. So you go down and you put up your count. And the count, you are doing what? You are counting everything. You are counting everything. So you put star. Anytime you put star inside, it means you are counting everything. And everything you are counting is only limited to what? 1. So after you have done that, you will now tell us where you are taking your table from. You're taking it from human resource employee. Control C. We're also going to group it. Group is a general aggregate. What are you grouping it by? You are grouping it by the job title. So you come again and you pick the job title. Control C. Control V. Now having is added, and the having is interested in those counts which you have been asked to do. So for the job title, for the count, we will give it an alias first. Give it an alias. Call it number of employee. That's what we want to see there. So for the count here, we call it 1. Then we now have to do the last thing. We order. Want to show direction. Order by the same job title. Control V. And the job title now, which you are ordering, you want it to be in descending order. It means that it starts from the biggest until goes down to the lowest. That is and you control it by putting this semicolon. Then you look at the work, see there's no red line, then you can run it. See what it can give you. So the number of employees that are 111 has been taken care of here. We have vice president of sale, vice president of production, vice president shipping, receiving supervisor. Those ones that are 1, that are not 2, is what was taken care of here. And everything is 28 rows. So we have 28 rows. So I've been able to touch the final aspect of the work. The second task will be in the note. You see it, you will practice it, use your hand to impute it, and make sure that you can able to run it. And you can also see the numbers of row there. The numbers of row are not much in that one. You see there just 16 rows, but they have a lot of combination and joining. So let me go to see. I don't know if there's any questions so far. Do you have any questions so far?
No question for now. No question.
Okay, so all right, thank you. So let me go and see if we can be able to get the guide. I have a lot of, I don't have to give everything so that I don't bore or confuse you at this stage. But of course, as you continue to improve, you can also get I want to see let me see if I can see it. Yes, I think this is it. Let me open it and see. Yes, I'm going to send these materials to you and to the class, but I want you to look at what it's all about. It is it's Adventure Work Data Dictionary. So all the data we have been using is there. Adventure Work Data Dictionary. You can see different tables, person, contact, human resource, employee. Started with P. I don't know why I started with P. Okay, this is human resource. This is human resource employee, amongst many. All the table that are Adventure Works are there: production, product category, and the rest. So now let's just go to maybe production product, which we have been doing for some time now, and look at something there. We can also go to another one. Okay, this says page 36. So when we go to page 36, this products sold and the rest, it has to do with the production product table. Now when you go down, you can see this is the column. This key is showing you that this is the primary key, and it's called the product ID. Now it is also describing the data that is an integer. If it has a notation, it doesn't have. This one has in color. Then describe the attribute. It's a primary key for product record, identity, auto increment volume. Then name is an voucher, which is a numeric uh, variable character. That is n var numerical variable character. And the character, which is like A, B, C, D, or 1, 2, 3, 4, will not be more than 50. And it is describing what? The name of the product. Product number also have this. It cannot be more than 25. Unique product identifier. So everything is described in bits. So you can know the primary key. You can know if there's a foreign key. You can also see it there. Now look at the link. How do we use that key? Now just like a plug, you can join it with production.product model. Look at how you are joining it. Remember, when you come to the work, you see product from which table. You now go ahead to look at maybe inner join or outer join or any other join. Then you now say on what. So you see production product dot product model is equal to production product model. This is how you are joining it. So this production product model will join this. We can use it to join production product model. Remember, the primary key here is what? When you go up again, you see the primary key. We'll go up again. You see our primary key is product ID. These are foreign keys. Now we can now link this our key to another table. You can use it to link on production product model. This is how you're going to link it. Or production product subcategory. So the joining this is how you can join it. In case it does not know, for this production product, you are joining with product subcategory, which is equals to production products category again. So that's why when you go to each table, even though we have primary and foreign key, you can also use the foreign key to join with primary key. Once you have something that is in common, you can join, and once you are able to join, you can visualize. That's what it's saying. We have plenty of them. Link from, where it's going to. All these ones are the keys and the table you can join. So there are plenty of them. Product ID, name. This is unique keys, among others. How you can use them, and it continues. So this table, I'm going to send it as I'm sending the last work, so we can also be able to use them. See how there are plenty of them. This is just the key, how to join and the rest. So by the time you begin to practice and you seriously put your mind to it, I'm telling you, it will become a walkover. So at this point, since I'm going to send it to you, I think I still have about 7 minutes. So let's go back to the work. Maybe I can use that 7 minutes to finish up the other aspect of the second task, so that we have finished happily. But remember, this one is going to be long, so if we are doing it and the time is up, I will continue it and finish. So this task is telling us to show the breakdown of sales across product categories for each year. So that is the question. Question looks simple, but the workings are not straightforward. So we start by taking the select statement. Select where we are asked for year. So we'll start our year, open up a bracket, and we'll use our short codes which we are going to address later. So we'll write SOH. Of course, you know what SOH means by now. Sales order header. It's a table which we have used in one of our work or some of our works. So in the SOH, what are we looking for there? We are looking for the order date. So we'll go to the SOH table. Let's close this first. Sales order header table. Come down. This says order header. We'll open it. We're looking for order date. We pick our order date and Control C it. Come inside and put it. Control V. So the order date, we're treating it as what? As year. I think this is our year. So the next thing we do, we come down and we'll pick the PPC. So the question is, what is PPC? PPC have to do with our product. So PPC has to do with our product. So we'll go to production product category to know what our PPC wants. So PPC, and we're picking what? We just want to pick name. So we'll go to production product category under P, production product, yes, production product category. We'll open it, look at the column, we'll have our name, we'll pick the name, Control C, and we'll put it here, Control V. So once we have done that, we'll change the name and call it what? Category. Remember, you can always give a name you wish, and as long as you are consistent, it will always remain that way. Then the next thing we do, we sum. Why do we want to sum? We're summing the SOD, sales order detail. So we'll go to our S under sales order detail. Sales order detail. We open it. We open our column. We're looking at what? Line total. We're total to do a calculation. So we take our line total and we'll bring it into our SOD. I'll place it there, and we'll also have to change the name. We'll just call it as sales. Call it as sales, our SOD. And when we have finished this, we'll go down and pick the table where we are starting our work from. Remember, we are going to do several joins. So we're taking it from production product. So production product table. We'll copy it I'll place it here, Control V. And the production table, we are giving it an alias as PP, production product table. So we now have to start our inner joining. And you remember, inner join is talking about intersect, talking about common ground. So we are going to inner join. What aspect are we starting with? We are starting with a sales order detail. So go down to our sales order detail. Pick it up, Control C, place it. I will give it as alias sales order detail, call it SOD.
It's like the time is almost up.
Okay, it's all right. So once the time is up, I will continue. Then I will send you the video and also the note. I hope that is okay.
Okay, sir.
It's all right. So it says order detail. Now, what are we joining it on? We're joining it on something. So we're joining it on SOD for the sales order detail. Then you now go and pick the identifier. And if you look at here, it has given you an identifier, which is the product ID. So you can even copy it, product ID, and then it's going to be the same with our PP, which is our production product. And if you look again and the count down, you're going to also see product ID there. So this is the first joining that you have done. Then the second one, go ahead and do another inner join. And what are we joining in our second joining? Production product category. So you go to your production product category, production product category. You copy it and come over, Control V. Now, what are you give it an alias as PPC, production product category. Our second join, no, let's use the subcategory first. Let's use the production product subcategory first before we go to category. So we take it step by step. Production product subcategory. Let's check it up. Production product subcategory. Copy it. I will put it here. I will call it as production product subcategory. So call it PSC. So we're not going to do the joining. Are we joining on what? So we'll say PSC dot. We're looking at the ID, the primary key that we're going to join it with, and then we're going to join it with the product category ID. And it's going to be what? We're going to join it with another table, and the table is the So the production product subcategory the first join was sales order detail. Then the second join is production category. We're joining it on product category PP, and we're also looking at the key that is common. You can see that we have product subcategory ID, so we pick the key. So we have done the second joining. Then this third inner join, we're going to pick another table. So the third inner join, we are using the product category. So we go and look for where the product category is. Production product category here. Copy it, Ctrl C, and we'll bring it here, and we'll give it a name as PPC, production product category, and we're joining it on, we say we're joining it on PPC, and PPC has a key which is product category ID, as you can see, and we'll pick it, and we're going to join it with what? Going to join it with our production subcategory. And when we look at product category ID, we also see it is also here. So we pick it again. Then we go and do our final joining, which is inner join. And this time we're looking at sales order header. So we'll go to sales order header. Sales order header, which is SOD. We'll pick it, Ctrl V, and it will have it alias as sales order header. SOH, sorry, sales order header. So how are we joining it? We're joining on SOH, sales order header. Now what is the key there? We have customer ID. With customer ID, we also have sales order ID. So we pick the sales order ID, because even if you look at it, is the primary key. So sales order ID, we are joining it with which table? So we are looking at the SOD, sales order detail, and when we see there's also a sales order ID there, which is the same. So this is the linking for the joining. So after we have done that, we'll now go ahead to group by what we're grouping by year, because that was the question that was asked. And now what is there in the year that we're grouping? We have sales order header, and going back to sales order header again, we see that we have order date, which we use to characterize our year, and we place it inside. That's the first thing. The second thing that we're using is the PPC, and we are characterizing it by name. That is what we also did. PPC by name, but I need to go and pick it from the table. Production product category. production product category. I pick the name here. Control C. See, this name is not blue, it's not a function. So if I have used that one, I will not get my answer. So be mindful of colors even as you are working. So after we have done that, we now order it. We want to see whether it should be by descending order or by ascending order. We are ordering it with what? With year. So we write our year. By year. And of course, anytime it is ordered like this, we didn't see descending, it means it's automatically set into ascending, because by default the ordering is in ascending order. So after we have done this, let's now see if we can be able to run this and execute it and see if we can be able to give us an output. So when we execute, yes, we have an output. We're able to get 16 important rows, and that is what we were expecting to get. So I have 16 rows. So I've been able to use the idea of what we have been learning to get this output from our work. So I hope that you will now go back and look at our various works and make it count for yourself and for what you want to use it for. I'll be drawing the curtain here tonight. Thank you very much. I pray that you study to become better. God bless. And good night.